Is Medicare Advantage a scam? That's what we're going to talk about in today's video, so I hope you stay tuned. My name is Jamie from meetjamie.com. I'm an independent insurance broker. I help people all over the country understand the Medicare program and find the coverage that fits their needs. In this video, I'm going to just share some of my personal opinions about Medicare Advantage. Also some things that I've learned from talking to other beneficiaries. But my ultimate goal for this video is that people who may watch it and come across it on YouTube will share their personal experience in the comments below. If you like videos like this, please subscribe to my channel. Hit the like button, and if you have questions about Medicare, you can certainly leave them in the comments and I may address it in a future video. So Medicare Advantage is getting a lot of press today, and not all of it is positive. So I thought I would make this video today, talk a little bit about my experience in talking with beneficiaries. Honestly, I have a sister, a younger sister, who's on disability, who has a Medicare Advantage plan. So I'm very familiar with Medicare Advantage. My dad is a Medicare agent as well, and he has a original Medicare with a Medicare supplement. So I don't just do this as part of my business. It literally is part of my family. So if you are Medicare eligible or soon to be Medicare eligible, you may have noticed that in the fall in particular, there is tons of marketing being done around the Medicare program, and that's because of the open enrollment that runs from October 15th through December 7th. So each year around that time, marketing towards Medicare really ramps up, and quite honestly, a lot of the marketing that's done around Medicare, specifically Medicare Advantage, faces a high amount of scrutiny. And the reason for that is because the government wants to make sure that Medicare beneficiaries are not being misled about their Medicare coverage. So every year there's more and more crackdowns by CMS, which is the Medicare program, covers the Medicare program. And a lot of these companies have to have their advertising vetted to make sure that it's not deceptive. And so you'll see a lot of famous people around this time, or people who used to be famous, whether it's sports celebrities or even TV celebrities. So the important thing to know is that as of last year in 2022, almost 30 million people were enrolled in a Medicare Advantage plan. And there's about 68 million people eligible for Medicare. So almost half of all Medicare beneficiaries have a Medicare Advantage plan. Medicare is a federal health insurance program for people 65 and older, or for certain people with disabilities. And it was actually signed into law in 1965. And the primary goal of Medicare was to provide affordable health insurance to older Americans. And so you want to think about that when you're really analyzing Medicare and what the program is meant to do. Because Medicare Advantage offers some benefits that original Medicare doesn't offer. Things like vision, dental, hearing. But the original intent of the Medicare program, if you will, is to provide quality, affordable health insurance for seniors. And so you want to keep that in the back of your mind. Quite later on, the idea of Part C to Medicare came along, which is Medicare Advantage. A lot of people that I talk to who are on Medicare, they go, what's the Part C? Well, Part C is Medicare Advantage. And so underneath the CMS guidelines, these plans have to offer the same coverage as original Medicare. And many of them offer additional benefits, as I mentioned, including also prescription drug plans prescription drug coverage, I should say. So how does Medicare Advantage work? So if you're a beneficiary, you probably don't notice a big difference if you have a Medicare Advantage plan, because Medicare Advantage utilizes a cost-sharing model similar to original Medicare, wherein the insurer fronts most of the cost of the treatment, while the beneficiary pays a co-payment and potentially deductibles. So it's important to remember that either way that you go, whether you choose original Medicare and a Medicare supplement, or you choose Medicare Advantage, you will always have to have your A and B in place and have that covered. And so in 2023, Medicare Part B is $164.90 a month, and the annual deductible is $226 for most people. So simply put, Medicare Advantage provides, as contractors with CMS, taking on the responsibility to managing your Medicare coverage. So a lot of controversy surrounds Medicare Advantage because it shifts the responsibility to a private health insurance company. So there are two sides to the coin, and again, I hope people comment. There's some very well-known videos here on YouTube that really, and even other agents and brokers who are very opposed to Medicare Advantage, and they have their reasons, and you've probably seen some of those. But in my personal experience with being a broker, what I will tell you is the vast majority of people on Medicare who I talk to are happy with their coverage. Let me say that again. The vast majority of people that I talk to on Medicare are happy with their coverage. So that includes whether they have original Medicare and a Medicare supplement, or they have a Medicare Advantage plan. Now, each year, if you are a broker who sells Medicare plans, you have to go through an annual training. And in that annual training, you learn all about the rules around Medicare Advantage and how all of those sorts of stuff work. So if you're a broker, you're an agent, you're very familiar. You spend a lot of time focused on understanding the Medicare program and educating yourself, rightfully so. But in my experience, what I've found is that sometimes the things that we learn about as agents and brokers aren't a very big concern to the average Medicare beneficiary. So it's important to make your own decision, understand how they work, how the two paths of Medicare work. In fact, if you have a Medicare and You guide, in the last several years, they've started adding a page, it's usually around page 10 or 11, that shows you the two paths to Medicare: original Medicare with a Medicare supplement and a prescription drug plan, and then the other side is Medicare Advantage or Part C. So what I'm trying to do at this stage in the game of being a broker is present both opportunities to receive your coverage to Medicare beneficiaries, be as truthful and honest as I can, but also as unbiased. And I tell people real life stories about their experience with the coverage. I will sit down and I will do a Medicare 101 with people. My services are completely free to you as a Medicare beneficiary. And what my experience is that even after presenting as unbiased and as clearly as I possibly can, there are people who still choose Medicare Advantage, and there are people who choose original Medicare with a supplement. And what I can tell you is, if I do my job well, this is what I feel, if I do my job well and I explain to the best of my ability the coverage, the benefits, and all of that sort of stuff, then the Medicare beneficiary is going to most likely be happy because I've done a good job of educating them. There are a lot of people who get signed up for a plan who nobody ever really educated them on how the Medicare program works, and then they have surprises. And most of those surprises, what I will tell you is Number one, network restrictions. This happens a lot. So people don't realize that with original Medicare, and if you add a supplement, you can go anywhere in the country that accepts original Medicare. Whereas with a Medicare Advantage plan, you have to stay within a network of providers. A lot of people, that one simple thing was not communicated to them when they first signed up for a plan. And they found out that they can't see the doctor that they are used to seeing, or they can't go to the dentist they want to go to, or the clinic, or the hospital. So as a broker, it's my job to make sure that people can see the doctor they want, they can go to the specialist they want, they can go to the clinic, the hospital, all of those sorts of things. So that's a surprise that many have. Another thing is a denial of claims. So sometimes there are denial of claims. Now here's the thing, it's a very small percentage. In fact, it's around 6%. And so there are things that you can do if a claim is denied where you can argue in favor of that. So that does come up, but I will tell you it's a very small percentage. The other thing that I will say is that depending on what type of Medicare Advantage plan you choose, the out-of-pocket costs can be fairly high. So with a Medicare Advantage, it's kind of like a traditional health insurance plan, right? Where you have what's called an annual out-of-pocket limit. Some of those are as low as just a few $1,000s, but some of them go into the several $1,000s. So if you're on a fixed income, if you're on a fixed budget every year, the difference between a $3,000 out-of-pocket Medicare Advantage plan or a $7,500 out-of-pocket Medicare Advantage plan can be very, very big if you're on a fixed income. So you always want to make sure that you look into, okay, are all of the people that I want to see, doctors, specialists, eye doctors, dentists, all of that in network? And then what is the maximum out of pocket I will be exposed to for the year? In some states, your supplement plan can be very high, and it's almost unaffordable to pay the premiums for that Medicare supplement plan. And so if you can get into a Medicare Advantage plan and pay a lower monthly premium that has a deductible that you feel like you could meet financially, it can be a great option. Here's what I will close with, because I don't want this video to go on too long today. Again, leave the comments below about what your thoughts are on Medicare Advantage. It's always important to remember that Medicare is a federal program, and so there are imperfections. In life, there is no perfect solution. And so when you go into the Medicare program with eyes wide open, you understand what your options are, what's available, and you start from the standpoint of there are no perfect solutions. There are pluses and minuses to both. Then you can educate yourself thoroughly to make an educated decision. And so if you have questions, if you want a free, no obligation consultation, you can reach out to me. I'll put my contact information in the description of this video. It's all over my channel if you go to my About, and you can reach out to me and set up a time to chat. I will leave it up to Medicare beneficiaries to decide, because I am not one, whether Medicare Advantage is a scam or not. But in my experience, and the people that I've talked to, they're very happy with the coverage that they have. The vast majority of them, whether they chose original Medicare or Medicare Advantage. Again, thank you so much for watching this video. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the like button, and leave a comment below. I'll see you in the next one. Thanks again.